Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bosqueenet adventure. My name's Jeff. Tonight we're out on a backpacking adventure. I have a new tent that I'm trying out from Naturehike this evening. Plus, sometime this evening we are expected to get a bit of rain, though I don't think it's coming till the evening hours. Like I said, the new tent that I'll be trying out tonight is the Naturehike Opalus 2. This is their UL version and it's pretty new to the market. Let's go ahead and get it set up. Now I do want to let you all know before I set up this tent that the UL version of the Opalus does not come with a ground sheet. So I will be using the ground sheet from my Mongar 2 to basically supplement the sleeping area of this tent. There is a neon green pole and two silver poles. The neon one goes in the middle section of the tent. And just so that there's absolutely no confusion, Naturehike has marked the location for which these poles enter. Silver for the silver poles, and the green tab here, that's for the green pole. To set up the tent, I'm going to first thread all the poles so that they're just loosely fit inside their sleeves. Then, once each of the poles are in their sleeves, I'll start from the back and work my way front, tensioning them up. Though I'm not expecting too much wind this evening, I am going to set all the guy out points just for practice. All right, that really didn't take all that long to set up. I'm thinking it was 10 or 15 minutes max, and that was with me setting the camera around and the whole 9 yards, right? So really not too difficult of a tent to set up. But now that we have it all set up, let's hop on inside. That's convenient. For the doorway here, they provided an elastic strap. That is quite nice, with a nice hook on it. Boom, just like that. As you can see, this is a large vestibule area. This is meant for 4 seasons, so you can sit your backpack in here, all kinds of gear, tables, whatever you need inside the tent. It's a nice large entryway, and the doorway just simply folds up and tucks away into this pocket. Nice little pad to kneel on. That is super handy, having this huge vestibule. I'm liking that a lot. And because I didn't know if it was going to be raining on me as I was hiking up here, I packed all the essentials in a dry sack. So in there's my sleeping bag, my puffer jacket, and extra clothing and everything. Now, for those of you with a keen eye, you've probably spotted this already, but yes, up at the peak of those mountains, that is new snow. In fact, 2 days after our last camp out together, the hills got blasted with snow. I mean, to the point where we're at right now, even had snow, a couple of inches, in fact. But just to give you a quick reference of where we were last time, we were just around the corner here, and those were the aspen groves that we were looking at. But all of that, 2 days later after our camp, blanketed in snow. The only bits of snow remaining are what you see on the north side of the mountain there. Now, down in the valley for that weather event, we had an amazing amount of rain, more than what we usually get at any given time around here. So it was a significant storm that rolled through. There were neighborhoods just to the north of where I live that got completely flooded. It was just an amazing amount of rain that fell from the sky. But wouldn't you know it, I missed being able to go out and have a camping adventure in it. Unfortunately, my weekend was completely booked up, and just had other things that I had to do and get done. So I just had to enjoy the rain from my home. And I did. Now, because of the obvious colder temperatures up here in the mountains, all of those bright pinks and reds that we were enjoying just a few weeks ago, well, those are all starting to turn that dark orange and brown now. Soon, all of the leaves will be officially on the ground, and we'll be right at winter's front door. Just a few weeks ago, this was just a tapestry of all kinds of reds and pinks and oranges. It was stunning. In addition to the nature hike tent, I also picked up the Fire Maple G3 650 milliliter pot. What's cool about this pot is that it does have the built-in heat exchanger with cutouts to pair with a compatible stove. So tonight I will be using it for the first time to boil up some water for my mountain house chili mac with beef. Like I said, this pot does require a compatible stove, a tripod style stove, 1, 2, 3, and that fits just like that. This pot is big enough to hold a 110-gram fuel canister. All right, well, I've waited long enough. I'm hungry. Gonna dive in now. If you haven't ever had the chili mac, I mean, it's generic, but it is pretty tasty. It's definitely one of those, like, stick to your ribs meal. It is certainly a lot of food, and it will fill you up. All right, it is getting just a little bit chilly, so we're going to grab the hat, and we're going to make just a simple fire tonight with the Duraflame log. It actually rained up here last night, so all the available firewood is just soaking wet, and that would just produce a real smoky fire. So I decided to once again haul in a bit of Duraflame log with me, and we'll enjoy that for the time being. I think I'm gonna grab some hot chocolate too. Okay, I also brought back with me a roll of cookies too. They were calling my name. All right, the last bit of new gear for this trip. I also went out and got myself a little titanium this time instead of the stainless steel wood burner. And it just so happens to fit a half a Duraflame log really well. Dinner was good, but it was definitely time for a treat. So I just have some simple chocolate mint covered cookies. I figured they would pair very well with some hot chocolate. And of course, we got to do the dunk. Oh yeah, just melt that chocolate on the cookie. That's going to be tasty. Really good. Oh yeah, it just melts that chocolate. Very tasty. Even though it hasn't rained yet, emphasis on the yet, I still think it's coming. It's just probably delayed at this point. So fingers crossed, rain in the morning. But anywho, even though we haven't had any rain today or this evening, this has just been an excellent camp. Not as peaceful as I hoped that it would be. Just the major road runs right through the valley, and there's been all kinds of ATVs, motorcycles, lots of people just racing up and down the canyon this evening. They're out having their fun too. I don't blame them any, but the noise factor around camp has been pretty high as a result of it. It's just been absolutely fun watching the clouds just skim the top of the mountain all day. Some of them a little bit more gray than others, so there were a couple of moments there that I was thinking, okay, here comes the rain, but then that blue sky would break again, and oh well. But the clouds skipping across the top of the mountains, coming up over the hills all around me. There was a point there right before I ate dinner where the clouds were just coming right over the top of the mountains, and the sun was just hitting them perfect. And it was just a nice fiery golden orange. It was spectacular. I tried to capture some of that video, so hopefully it turned out well. But it was just marvelous to see. And at that point too, I mean, the clouds were just racing by. So that's not time lapse, just that's how fast the clouds were moving. But anywho, I think I'm just gonna sit here in the dark, enjoying the fires still. There isn't a whole lot to see anymore. I mean, it is dark out here tonight. Oops. Maybe I should have had my gloves on for that. All right, everyone. I am in the tent. Fire is all out. I am still a bit awake. I think I'm gonna throw on a movie here, you know, just kind of lull myself to sleep for a bit and just kind of enjoy the rest of my evening. If it does decide to rain, I'll turn on the camera. That's kind of something I want to capture for myself anyway. But I am gonna try getting some shut-eye now. We'll see you all in the morning. Good night now. Good morning, everyone. What a beautifully damp morning. Everything is wet. Last night we got some rain. What I ended up capturing last night of the rain was actually 3 individual really short events, like 5 minutes tops. The first one came in at about 12:30, the second at 2, and then the last one at 5 a.m. But they were just short bursts that came down pretty decently. It just wasn't a long duration rain event. However, suffice it to say, it did rain, and I was able to put the new tent through its first rain event. We'll call it that for now. Not a long duration event, but certainly a rain event. I think the tent performed pretty decently. However, I do think that there is actually a little flaw on this side of the tent. I'll do my best to describe what's going on here. But you see this gap right here? It does not make it all the way to the ground. And that is as low to the ground as I can make it. But you can see on the mesh here that as the water basically funneled off of the tent and splashed and hit the ground right here, it would splash up onto the mesh. So the bathtub floor is not tall enough, and water was actually making its way inside the tent. And for a tent that claims to be a 4-season tent, that is a major no-no. Water inside the tent is really bad. So you better believe I'll absolutely be contacting Naturehike about that issue. This morning I'm keeping it real simple. I just have a slice of baked blueberry bread. This is really good stuff. No, I didn't make it. I did purchase this. Well, everyone, I've done my look around camp, made sure I didn't leave anything behind. I really did have a fun time. I enjoyed my evening last night, just calm, peaceful, relaxed, with these magnificent mountain views. I did enjoy testing the new tent out, even though there are issues. I really do like testing new equipment, though sometimes they're just better than others. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the bosqueenet adventure, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or hey, you just want to chat, hit me up down in the comment section below. I always look forward to hearing from you. I'm gonna get heading down the trail. Thank you once again for joining me. We'll see you.